I was planning to attend the new president's inauguration party, so I entered the venue to find my seat, but it wasn't there. That's strange. As I was thinking this, the new president, William, saw me and started laughing.
Hey, were you planning to attend? Today is my inauguration party. I'm only inviting people I want here. A high school graduate like you can stay in the hallway.
When William said this, the other employees who were supposed to attend the party were in an uproar. I am the one who prepared this party under the direction of William. This treatment is so terrible. I had endured all kinds of mistreatment until now, but even I had reached my breaking point. However, later on William would receive a shocking punishment. My name is John. I am 28 years old. After graduating from high school, I started working at a major real estate company. Before I got a job, I was bad at studying and always chased after fun. My parents were so worried about me that they gave me many tutoring and lessons, but none of them lasted long, and my grades in school were always bad. Naturally, I hadn't even considered going to college.
You won't grow up to be a decent adult like that. Studying is very important in life.
My dad would often get frustrated and scold me. I understood his feelings, but no matter how hard I tried, I just hated studying too much to handle it. While others looked at me with cold eyes, only my maternal grandpa supported me.
Life is long. You don't have to study now, and there will definitely come a time when you must, so don't rush. Live the way you want to now, John.
My parents made sour faces upon hearing my grandpa's words, but I agreed with him and listened. As the end of high school approached and my friends were busy with college entrance exams, I was already moving towards employment. My stubborn refusal to consider college finally made my parents concede, allowing me to get a job right after high school graduation, provided I could find one. But finding a company that would hire a high school graduate wasn't easy. However, this company hired me with a low educational background. I currently work as a sales assistant, handling paperwork for salespeople. My colleagues and supervisors have been very kind, teaching me the ropes, and the company atmosphere is very positive. I was glad to have landed this job. I've always been grateful to work in such a happy environment. A few years after I started working, I arrived at the office as usual one day to find my colleague's faces grim. Wondering what was going on, a senior colleague, Bob, approached me in a fluster.
It's serious. Our president, Tom, has fallen ill.
What? I was shocked. I couldn't believe that Tom, who had been so energetic just yesterday, had fallen ill. Is Tom's condition stable?
Yeah, it's nothing life-threatening, but he's taking a break just in case.
I was relieved for the moment. Tom was a kind man who always cared about nurturing his staff and looked after everyone around him. Tom himself taught me, a high school graduate, how to work, and sometimes we went out drinking together. Everyone loved our president, Tom. As Bob and I were talking, Michael gathered all the employees.
As you all know, our president will be taking a break from work for a while. Therefore, William will be acting as the interim president.
The office immediately buzzed with activity. People began whispering to each other. William was known for his high-handed methods, having been poached from another company to serve as our executive director.
Seriously?
Bob was stunned. I hadn't directly dealt with William, so I could only imagine what he was like from the rumors. Seeing everyone's uproar, Michael sighed.
William is just acting as president. Don't worry.
Despite Michael's reassurance, the office remained noisy. That's when it happened. The office door flew open, and in walked William.
Hey, I came to greet you as the acting president.
Everyone was silenced by his indescribably pompous attitude.
Well, thank you.
I'm just the acting president for now, but it won't be long before I become the actual president. Everyone, look forward to it.
With that, William left the office. Everyone was still staring at the office door with an incredulous look on their faces. The rumors that William was arrogant might just be true. Hearing William's words made me think so. What if William actually becomes the new president? I was filled with anxiety, but I decided to believe that Tom would definitely come back. A week later, an event that plunged us into hell occurred. After the morning's work, we were taking a break when Michael called everyone together again. The employees, summoned by Michael, seemed to have the same ominous feeling as I did. Michael opened his mouth heavily.
Tom worked hard on his rehabilitation and desperately wanted to return to the company. But his body wouldn't cooperate as he wished, and he had to reluctantly decide to retire. It's regrettable, but there's nothing we can do.
Some colleagues were in tears as they listened. It was clear how much everyone loved Tom. The reality that Tom, whom I adored, will not return to this company was also a sad thing for me. The reason I had been able to keep going until now was largely due to the presence of the president. While everyone was wrapped in melancholy, Michael uttered shocking words.
So, at the shareholders' meeting just now, it was officially decided that William will take over as the new president of the company.
Upon hearing Michael's words, everyone was stunned. That's because no one wanted to believe that the arrogant William would become the president. Bob was practically leaking his inner farts.
William, no way.
The other colleagues also expressed their dissatisfaction.
We don't want William to become the president.
If William becomes the president, it's the end of this company.
Then the office fell silent again. William entered the office with confidence.
Is everyone so dissatisfied with me becoming the new president?
William clicked his tongue in annoyance. The colleagues in the office were silent.
I graduated from a prestigious university and studied business management. Unlike the overly sweet Tom, I am confident that I can double this company's profits. If anyone is dissatisfied, they should quit right away.
I couldn't stand to hear him speak ill of Tom. William didn't understand how much Tom had contributed to this company. I was boiling with rage as I listened to William speak. Then William said something absolutely unbelievable.
Besides, I hate people with low education who can't do their job. I'll fire such people immediately. So if you think you fit the bill, be prepared.
William said whatever he wanted and left the office. I hate low education. Fire. I'm a high school grad, and if he targets me, I might be fired immediately. Stunned, I was approached by Bob, his face red with anger.
William is too arrogant. I just can't come to like him.
Bob was right. While Tom was a person who cherished his employees and was liked by his colleagues, William was the exact opposite. He might even think it's okay to be disliked by his employees. Thinking about having to work under William made my stomach churn. I was fully aware that I must interact with him for work, but I vowed to keep it to a minimum. The next day, as I was working, I saw William approaching my desk with a nasty smile. I had a bad feeling and looked down, focusing on my work. But in the next moment, I was in for a shock.
John, You're the only high school grad in this office.
Startled by the loud voice, I turned around to see William standing behind me with his arms crossed. I was indeed a high school grad, but so what? Was he going to say I'm fired because of my education level? Tentatively, I looked up at William, and his eyes were utterly cold. Yes, that's right, but...
That's right, but that's not good enough. Just being in the space with you, a high school grad, gives me goosebumps. So you're fired.
Shocked by the sudden firing, my eyes widened, and just then, Michael came to my rescue.
William, that's a problem. John is also important for customer support.
Michael exclaimed, causing William to heave a big sigh.
No, I really hate working with an incompetent. But, well, I can't help it. You'll just have to do some menial tasks then.
William said before leaving the office. I let out a sigh of relief. Had Michael not come to my aid at that moment, I would have been fired. Michael looked so dismayed he couldn't even speak. The colleagues who had been watching anxiously also sighed in relief, just like me. As I was about to refocus and restart work, William returned to my desk. What the hell now? I was jittery, and then he shoved a massive pile of documents at me.
Enter these documents by today.
What? I was stunned, and William grinned and said, "You're a high school graduate who can work, right? That's a piece of cake." William taunted. Oh man, entering such a huge amount of documents in one day is tough even for a typing pro, let alone me with other work to do. I was irritated by William's selfish and egocentric behavior. It would be tough to finish this amount of documents in one day. As I counted, William glared at me with a demonic look.
Difficult or not, that's your job as a high school grad. If you can't, you're fired.
It wasn't supposed to be my job to enter these documents. He was unilaterally imposing this on me, threatening to fire me, but I had no choice. I nodded slightly and began entering the documents William had shoved onto me. William looked satisfied and went off somewhere with his wallet. As soon as William was out of sight, Michael, Bob, and other colleagues gathered around my desk.
It's too mean of William to have John do so much paperwork in one day. I'll help,
Michael said, and went back to his desk with a little bundle of papers.
I'm free too, so I'll help.
Me too.
Thanks to everyone in the office, the documents were quickly gone. It was sad that Tom was gone, but I had thoughtful and kind colleagues and supervisors. That strengthened my spirit. Thanks to everyone, the documents William had pushed onto me were all entered within minutes. Then William appeared in the office with coffee and donuts, probably bought from some famous coffee shop. Everyone in the office stared in disbelief. After he had dumped that massive pile of documents on me, he had gone shopping during work hours. What a privileged life. As I thought this, William looked at me and shouted,
What are you spacing out for? Have you finished entering the documents?
William was stuffing his face with donuts. Yes, all done, I said, handing him the documents. William started checking the documents with an incredulous look. The documents everyone helped me with were entered flawlessly. William looked at me, frustrated.
Such work can be done by anyone, so of course you could do it. That smug look on your face, it's infuriating.
I was surprised. I didn't remember having a smug look, but to someone casually slipping out for donuts, I probably seemed that way. With a grumpy face, William handed me an empty paper coffee cup. As I stood there stunned, William started laughing.
Sorry, I thought this was a trash bin, but it's just your seat. Well, a high school grad is nothing more than that. Just throw this away.
His disrespectful behavior had pushed my anger to the limit. Even if he's the president, there are things you should and shouldn't say. He's not fit to be a professional. Everyone around us looked incredulous as they watched our exchange. Well, the trash can is right behind you. Please throw it away yourself. William froze for a moment. He hadn't expected me to stand up to him like that. I'm also a person. I have my pride, and there are things I don't like hearing. The next moment, William shouted at me,
Are you saying you can't listen to me just because you're a high school grad? Incompetent yet so articulate.
William grabbed the coffee cup from my desk and threw it into the trash can with force. I was speechless from William's selfishness. I couldn't help feeling anxious about whether I could continue working under William. After that, William's treatment of me got even worse. Fueled by a sense of defiance, I kept working. One day, after such a daily grind, William suddenly spoke to me cheerfully. It was always a bad sign when he approached me in a good mood. Despite my bad feeling, I listened to what William had to say. Then, he blurted out something surprising.
I've decided to have my new president inauguration party. You're in charge of it. The party is next week. The chairman will be attending too, so make sure to prepare a proper venue and feast.
What? I was shocked. A new president inauguration party, and I have to prepare it by next week. What is he talking about? If all the employees are to attend the inauguration party, I need to prepare a venue that can accommodate over 200 people and arrange catering. William seemed unaware of how difficult this task would be. Starting now, even securing a venue will be quite challenging. I tried to explain how difficult it would be, but William wasn't listening to me.
By the way, I hate it if the place isn't beautiful. Make sure the feast is exceptionally delicious.
Hearing William's words, Michael couldn't stay put and spoke up.
But have you gotten the chairman's approval?
Well, that old man is under my thumb.
Disrespecting the chairman like that, what does he think he is? I could only sigh. After William left the office, Bob approached me.
I don't want to attend the new president's inauguration party. It's just going to be William boasting, right? And it's impossible to book a venue now.
Bob said angrily. It seemed the rest of the office felt the same way, all looking troubled. For now, I had to make a reservation. Thinking this, I searched the internet and called venue after venue, but being only a week away, everyone said it was impossible. However, after pausing my other work and searching desperately, I finally secured a venue and managed to arrange catering for 200 people. My task was complete. When I reported to William, he scolded me for taking so long to book the venue. He didn't understand how difficult it was to make the reservations, but I knew it was clear he wouldn't understand no matter what I said, so I just apologized. And so, the dreaded day of the new president's inauguration party arrived, despite everyone's reluctance. Having to see William on a Saturday really sucked. My stomach was churning from the morning. As I entered the banquet hall of the hotel, which was the venue, a few colleagues were already inside, and it was unusually quiet.
Well, I can understand why I have to attend such a party even on the weekend.
Bob was not the usual bright Bob, but dark and gloomy. I could totally relate. The chairman is supposed to attend this party too, so let's just hope everything ends peacefully. Bob weakly nodded at my words. Then, at the entrance of the venue, William's angry voice filled the air.
Are you celebrating my presidency in such a shabby venue? You must be joking. Hey, John.
William rushed over to me. The hotel staff were puzzled. As I frantically searched for my seat amidst William's endless rudeness, I couldn't find it anywhere. Despite Bob and other colleagues helping in the search, my seat remained elusive, leaving us all bewildered. Seeing our struggle, William burst out laughing loudly.
Were you going to join us? Today is my inauguration party, and I only invite those I want here. A high school grad like you wait in the hallway.
That's harsh. After entrusting me with all the party preparations, he's now saying I can't even attend. Perhaps he never intended to let me join in the first place. Michael, Bob, and the colleagues looked at William in disbelief. I had endured all kinds of treatment for the sake of my job, but this was too much. I was shaking with anger. Then Bob, expressing my feelings, exploded in rage.
That's too harsh. We've tolerated William's behavior for a long time, but this is the limit. I won't come to work until William apologizes to John.
It was the first time I saw Bob raise his voice so much against someone higher up, but William seemed unfazed and laughed it off.
Do what you want. The company will run fine without one person. Besides, I haven't said anything wrong.
It's clear that no matter what is said, it wouldn't matter to him. I shouldn't waste my time on such a person. As I sighed deeply, I muttered, maybe I should just go home. William looked smug.
Finally decided to go home. Leave now.
Hearing William's words, everyone else stood up in unison.
Yes, we're leaving. I also won't come to work until William apologizes to John.
We feel the same. We're fed up with William's arrogant behavior. Goodbye.
Everyone headed for the exit together. Suddenly, William panicked.
Wait a minute. I wasn't talking to you all.
But not a single person listened to William.
Michael, please tell everyone to come back.
Michael stopped, glared at William.
No, thank you. Why don't you say it yourself? Although, I doubt anyone would come back even if you asked.
What do you mean? Don't they realize what happens if they defy me?
Defying William won't change anything. You still haven't realized that, have you? Good luck with that.
With that, Michael left the venue. I followed the others out. William stood there, bewildered and alone. On Monday, I went to work with a heavy heart. The office was deserted. Only William was there. As Michael and Bob declared at the party, they hadn't come to work. The usually bustling office was eerily quiet.
Employees keep telling me they won't come in for a while. What's going on? Did you orchestrate this?
William glared at me. Despite everything said by Michael and Bob, it seemed he still didn't think he was at fault. This must be pathological. I haven't told anyone anything. Please stop making false accusations.
How are you going to take responsibility if work doesn't get done?
William was panicking and yelling, but blaming me wouldn't help, and after all, isn't all this his own doing? William started calling the employees.
Why isn't anyone answering their phones?
William, visibly upset, was handling the phone roughly. Seeing him so desperate made me laugh.
Why are you laughing? It's all your fault. Start making calls too.
Oh gosh, What a problematic person he is. It seems William wants to blame me for everything. Just then, the office door flew open. William's face turned pale.
What is going on with the party on Saturday and today that there are no employees?
There are reasons for this.
William was frantically trying to explain the situation. In the next moment, I was shocked by what William said.
He's here. This incompetent guy, John, he's the one to blame. He's tricked everyone.
The chairman grimaced.
What a mess you've caused.
Hearing the chairman's words, William nodded vigorously.
Exactly. That's why a high school grad shouldn't be here, right?
The chairman began to thunder.
I'm not talking about John, William. I'm talking about you. It's because of you that the employees aren't coming in. You are to blame.
Well, Chairman.
William never imagined he would be the one getting reprimanded. He looked at the chairman, dumbfounded.
My John may indeed be a high school grad, but I've heard from former President Tom and seen with my own eyes that he's been working his hardest here. And you judged him just by his education and even tried to prevent him from attending the new president's party. I've heard all about it.
What did you say, my John?
William looked at me, eyes wide. This company is my grandfather's company, and the chairperson is my grandfather. William, sweating profusely, was gaping.
John is the chairman's grandson.
Yes, that's right.
William began to tremble. In fact, my grandpa is the chairman of this major real estate company. The reason I got a job here despite being a high school grad was because my job hunt wasn't going well, and my grandpa said it was okay for me to join.
Working here as a high school grad isn't easy, especially since you'll be seen as the chairman's grandson. Are you prepared for that?
Before joining, my grandpa deliberately said harsh things, but he was right. Sure enough, I was often pointed at behind my back for being the chairman's grandson, but since it was true, I couldn't talk back and often felt frustrated. Determined to earn everyone's recognition, I threw myself into learning the job. After work, I attended computer school to enhance my knowledge. Although I was in sales administration, I accompanied sales staff to learn the tricks of the trade. I preemptively identified what my colleagues needed and handled even the menial tasks, all to avoid being labeled as just benefiting from my grandpa's influence. My efforts paid off, and the number of employees viewing me that way decreased. William, who had been pulled in from another company as the president, likely didn't know this.
If I had known John was the chairman's grandson, I would never have behaved this way. Please forgive me.
William was sobbing as he pleaded with my grandpa.
I'm not talking about that. It's not about education when it comes to work. If John hadn't been my grandson, you would have continued to look down on him as incompetent, wouldn't you?
No, I didn't just look down on him because he was a high school grad. It was just part of his strict training because he really couldn't do the job.
Was William serious? If so, that's unforgivable. That's when my patience finally snapped. Just as I was about to say something to William, a loud voice came from behind, interrupting me.
John can do his job. Everything William is saying is a lie.
William only says what suits him. Thanks to John, I and the other salesmen can work in peace. Can you please fire William, who is nothing but a detriment to this company?
Behind Michael and Bob, a large group of colleagues were nodding in unison.
What? I'm a detriment to this company.
William looked at everyone as if he'd seen a ghost. Actually, I had secretly sent messages to everyone to come to the company because I thought if no one came, it would be disastrous for my grandpa's company.
I've been with this company for a long time, and I've never met anyone as arrogant as you. As long as you are here, I'm sorry to say, it will be difficult to develop this company.
There's nobody who would want to follow such a president.
Michael and Bob hurled sharp words at William. Hearing this, my grandpa began to nod.
If you all say so, then it must be true. I had a bad feeling when the talk of William becoming the new president came up. That's the situation, William.
That means I am.
Yes, of course. You'll have to step down as the president. It won't be immediate due to all the formalities involved.
William was not willing to accept what my grandpa was saying.
Wait, then the president's position will be vacant again.
My grandpa smiled at William's words.
Don't worry about that. I already have someone in mind for the new president. You better start looking for your next job.
No way.
William collapsed to his knees, crying pitifully, his cries echoing throughout the office. Afterward, as my grandpa had said, William was fired and left the company. He continued to claim he had done nothing wrong until the end. His wife, having had enough of such a man, left the home. That's understandable. You would want to be with someone with such a terrible character. I sincerely hope this event serves as a good opportunity for William to change his ways. Today, I am attending the new president's inauguration party. Unlike during William's time, everyone is enjoying the delicious feast and chatting happily.
John, that suit looks great on you. Looking forward to working with you.
We're counting on you.
In fact, it was decided after that incident that I would officially take over my grandpa's company. My efforts had been recognized. Bob and Michael wholeheartedly congratulated me on becoming the new president. My grandpa approached and took my hand.
From now on, you are the one to protect this company. I know you can do it.
I nodded firmly. I am here today because everyone supported me. Life will undoubtedly present many challenges, but I am not alone. As the president, I aim to protect this company and everyone's smiles,